What up, world? EstablishedRich coming right back at you. The Breakfast Club has spent years talking about everything that went wrong with Dame Dash. Now, everybody finally remembers how valuable he is.
So, my girl calls me, I'm in the middle of a meeting, and she forwards me something from, the dark-skinned chick from the Breakfast Club. And they defaulted my bankruptcy. They said they won't let me go bankrupt. They don't believe it. No one reported that. But also no one reported anything about OG stories. What the Breakfast Club did report was when I asked my daughter for some money, and now they're reporting, whatever bullshit is going on with bankruptcy. But I just feel like y'all make it too obvious. Like, why don't you ever talk about any of the good stuff? Are you guys trying to line me up? Are you guys trying to amplify a narrative? I'm just curious why y'all just ignore the question or ignore anything good that ever happens in my life. But am I broke or am I not broke? How are y'all gonna say this? Like, y'all just gonna continue to talk about things that people, consider negative that I can consider part of business? I'll deal with what I gotta deal with. It's part of the game. Bad people are always going to try to make good people look like they're not doing the right thing. But why are you the voice of everything bad and nothing good? Lauren, you're a black woman. Why would you want to amplify bad stuff for black people but not amplify anything good for this black man? It's like a case study on stupidity or alleged devil worship. I don't know. Either way, I'm hustling. OG Stories, 11 o'clock. Congratulations, Dawn. Ratings through the roof. Steve Mack, Jay Black, Queen of Harlem. We got a hit TV show. Let's talk about that.
This is one of those times where I understand exactly what Dame is saying, because I have watched the way they cover him. And even when the information is factually correct, sometimes the tone feels like they are enjoying the downfall more than they are reporting the story. And Dame brought this up to their face. He talked about his independent projects, the books he was selling, the work he was doing with schools, and he basically asked, how come y'all never cover that part? Charlamagne even told him he never seen some of it. Now let me be clear, Dame makes it easy sometimes. His delivery can be terrible, he yells, and sometimes he can have a good point buried under so much extra stuff that by the time he finishes, people are arguing about his behavior instead of what he said. I do get that. And I'm not about to sit here and act like Dame's current financial situation is something the internet created. He filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, reported more than $25 million in liabilities, and now a court-appointed trustee is trying to sell certain assets to pay off creditors. That part is real. But here's where the story gets funny to me.
I broke a story yesterday that a trustee investigating Dame Dash's bankruptcy just filed documents yesterday asking for permission from a judge to be able to sell Dame Dash's life rights.
I would like to purchase his life rights. Not to be petty, but I think that's good business.
It would be a great business move.
Like, I'm especially interested in the Roc-A-Fella movie because of what you just said. They said it's a lot of footage. Right,
yeah.
That's history. Like, a lot of content can be created around that. So I'm intrigued.
His life as well, the way he started and him hustling and him, creating Roc-A-Fella with Jay and Biggs and all the things that they went to, created Roc Nation. I mean, not Roc Nation. Roc-A-Fella Records. What's the Roc-A-Wear and finding Kanye West? Yeah, that would be hella interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I already know a lot of people would be interested. Like, I know Cameron would be interested in buying it with us. So I'm gonna make a serious inquiry about that. I am interested in purchasing the OG stuff.
Now hold up. I thought this was Debt Dash. I thought this was a delusional old man who don't understand business no more. I thought everything Dame says is a joke. But now his story is available and everybody is like, wait, it might be a movie in there. Charlamagne says he wants to make a serious offer to buy Dame's life rights, especially because it includes more than 100 hours of Roc-A-Fella footage. A bid of $37,000 was reported for a package including his life rights, image and likeness rights, along with archival material. Now let me be clear about something. Buying that package don't mean Charlamagne owns Dame Dash. We talking about a specific story and archival assets being sold through an auction. But the irony is still crazy. The same man y'all keep telling us is finished has a life story that can make you money. That means something. And I do think there is business involved, absolutely. If I could get 100 hours of unseen Roc-A-Fella footage for that price, I would look at it too. That's hip-hop history. But they can't tell me it ain't a little personal sauce on there too. Because we all remember that old Breakfast Club interview where Dame went in there talking about ownership, bosses, and employees, and whether or not they could give their kids a job at that radio station.
Why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we could be using
You don't
this.
own it.
But
I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Question. Let me answer your question.
listening.
Can you give it to your son?
Can I give what to my son?
Whatever you
Shares
working
of this
for.
company? I
Yeah.
absolutely positively can.
How?
How? Because I own shares of this company.
You bought them?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company
This
to
full
you?
company is
I'm
not my
asking for-
son's. No,
Exactly.
It's not mine. But
Can,
I own
wait,
shares of
stop.
this company.
Listen. That's not my
listening.
question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him? No.
No.
If your son needs to get some money out the bank from here, some cash flow, can he get it?
No.
All right. You don't own this.
But I can take
Stop.
the, I
I'm
can
just
take the
telling
money
you.
from here to invest in
No,
myself.
it's not yours. I'm not going to fight for something I don't own.
He embarrassed him with it, and that clip followed Charlamagne them for years. Now, all of these years later, the employee may have enough money to buy assets connected to a boss. That is a power move. But here's what people are gonna miss. If Charlamagne buys those rights tomorrow, that don't make everything Dame said back then wrong. Charlamagne still works for R.I.C.H. DJ Envy still works for R.I.C.H. Dame's point was about ownership and dependence on a company you don't control. Whether you like this delivery or not, becoming more successful as an employee does not magically erase the original business principle. Now, Charlamagne has grown far beyond just being a radio personality. He has built businesses, production deals, and his own media infrastructure. You gotta give him that. But that actually proves something else. Maybe some of that loud stuff Dame was preaching rubbed off on him.
Why he called you the dark-skinned chick from the Breakfast Club?
I don't know. People were upset about that, and I didn't even really care because I'm like, most of his baby are all right. How many kids do Dame Dash have? Is it just Ava?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've only known him outside of whatever. But recently, I've only known him to be with like white women. So
That's right. Right.
yeah, I don't really care about that. The dark skin thing don't hurt a dark skinned woman that's dang near 36 years old. I've been the dark skinned chick for a long time now.
We have two beautiful dark-skinned women on
Yes.
Breakfast Club. I mean, three with Mimi as the correspondent. When the last time you seen Dash around two women with melanin at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. what if we referred to Nikki Licky or his baby mama or his wife as white-skinned chicks? I don't think he would like that. Don't do that.
I thought that was a low blow shot, but whatever. And we did. And to be fair, he said no one reported on the bankruptcy, the fact that they didn't want to do that. We did report on that. We did. I don't know if y'all remember the last time we talked about this situation outside of the things with his daughter. We talked about
Not
that.
only that,
And
not only that. Like at one time, he was the one that was giving you information on the things that he was doing, and you had a relationship with him. So
I'm the one who told y'all that he had
Exactly.
that Black Guns Roses rock album thing
yes, I
happening.
had a relationship. Y'all were
after
going
he
back
posted
and
it.
forth.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I think people are looking for a reason to be offended by anything Dame says. If Lauren felt disrespected, she has every right to feel how she feels. I wasn't in her body. She heard it. But personally, describing somebody as a dark-skinned girl that works at the Breakfast Club does not automatically sound like an insult to me. We say light-skinned dude, dark-skinned dude, bald dude, tall dude. Sometimes you are just trying to identify somebody you don't know or whose name you don't want to mention. Now, if his tone was disrespectful or there was something else around it, that would be different. But the words by themselves, I'm not automatically turning that into disrespect. And this is part of my bigger problem with how Dame gets covered. Once people decide they don't like you, everything you say starts getting interpreted in the worst possible way. Dame can say something smart and people still say it's crazy. He can say something crazy and people can say, yeah, see, I told you. After a while, nobody is actually listening anymore. And I think that's a mistake with somebody like Dame Dash. I would never tell a young entrepreneur to copy everything about Dame. But you gotta study the good and the bad. Study the relationships that fell apart. Study the lawsuits. Study the debt. Study what happens when somebody's personality can make business harder than it needs to be. But also study the man that helped build Roc-A-Fella Records when he was still a young man. Study Rockawell. Study the movies. Study the marketing. Study how we turned a record label into a cultural movement. You would be a fool to look at how Dame is doing today and decide there is nothing to learn from what he did yesterday.
Like,
information, and you wasn't the dark skinned chick then. You was Lauren. Hey, I need help with this story. That's who you were back then.
Well, it happens in the job, so I'm used to it. I have no issue with Dame Dash. It's not personal, but the fact that the bankruptcy and them not believing him was actually his doing. He was here on the Breakfast Club. A part of the reason why they didn't believe him is because some of the things the attorneys are saying because of some of the things that he said while he was here. I actually have a clip of something he said while he was here.
I'm not broke. So I got $5 million in the bank. I'm broke. No, my point is, you have to see the lineup. Y'all all caught the bait. I want you to go home and look at The Godfather 2 and tell me if I didn't just line y'all all up the same way. Think about it. You just took the bait and you feel stupid.
That's all that's happening. You went for it. You're a huckleberry.
I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Well, listen, buy your life rights, okay, before we do.
Yeah, if you got $5 million, but
Go buy your life rights.
Salute to Dame.
Pay off your debt.
He was trying to be smart at that part of the interview, but they also used other parts where he talked about, some of the new businesses he has. He talked about paying for his teeth.
All right.
They use that as well. But we'll wrap it up. If there's anything that develops from here as the auction or sale dates are set, I'll bring you guys more information.
I'll end it like this. I just find it hilarious that Debt Dash plays the pro-black card when it's convenient. Like, he's upset at you for reporting the story, but he will let the white-skinned chick, Nikki Licky, pollute the environment with those terrible-ass balls.
And call her the white Aaliyah. That is so disrespectful.
And dissing
OGs
black
in this
cultural
industry.
figures.
That's
like, stop. Debt Dash, knock it off.
But check out OG.
But I really
stories,
am.
'cause he said we
I
never
do
shout out.
want to make a serious inquiry.
If
about,
you make an inquiry, don't say Envy, throw me some bread.
No, I
right.
do. I'm making a serious inquiry about purchasing his life rights. I am interested in purchasing the OG story.
I got a couple dollars.
am.
It would be more than that. It'll be the real OG story.
I got a couple dollars.
This is another one where I actually understand Dame's point more than I understand everybody's outrage. Dame has explained what he meant. He said he was not simply saying she was the new Aaliyah musically. He was talking about the little things in her personality, her movement, her humor, and her artistry all reminded him of somebody he actually loved and knew. Now, you can think the comparison is weird, but who are we to tell that man who reminds him of Aaliyah? I didn't date Aaliyah. Charlamagne didn't date Aaliyah. DJ Envy didn't date Aaliyah. Lauren LaRosa didn't date Aaliyah. Dame actually had a real personal relationship with her. So there are parts of her personality that he experienced that the rest of us never saw. That doesn't make every comparison he makes automatically right. But I am definitely not going to tell him, nah, she don't remind you of your own girl. How do I know that? And that right there is where I keep coming back to with this whole Dame Dash situation. People have gotten so comfortable with laughing at the way his story looks right now that they are starting to act like the whole story was a failure. And it wasn't. The end of the movie does not erase Act 1. You can talk about Dame's bankruptcy and still acknowledge that this man helped build one of the most important rap labels in hip-hop. And that is why this whole thing feels contradictory to me. You cannot constantly reduce a man to his lowest moment and then turn around and say, by the way, I would love to own the rights to tell the story of all the incredible things that you did. Which one is it? Is he a joke? Or did he live a life important enough to make a movie about? The answer is obviously the second one. And maybe that's the real lesson in all of this. Dame Dash's biggest strength and his biggest weakness might be the same thing. He has always believed in himself so much that he will walk into a room and tell everybody that he is the smartest person here. That confidence helped him build what he built. That same confidence may have also helped him burn bridges. Both can be true. I don't need to turn him into a saint to give him his credit. And I don't need to pretend that his current situation is good to respect what he has accomplished. That is what our culture needs to get better at. We love people when they winning, but the minute their life go left, we start talking like they never did nothing. Dame Dash don't need me to pretend that this is still 1999. He ain't the same Dame. But Charlamagne wanting to buy assets connected to his life story tells you something that all that Debt Dash jokes can't erase. That life had value. The history has value. And apparently, the same people who love reminding Dame how far he fell off still know that money can be made off all the great things he did. You can make fun of the man, you can critique the man, you can learn from every mistake the man made. But if you were trying to buy the story, stop acting like there was never a story worth telling. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Hey.